In this video, Darrell and I talk about user testing versus dog fooding your own product, which basically means using your own product every day, and the pros and cons of each of those methods. If you don't know who Darrell and I are, we were co-founders of a company called RealBase, which we recently sold for 180 million. I was the CTO, Darrell was head of product. So let's jump into today's discussion and see what we had to say. User testing versus self-testing. So we started off like feeling a little bit bummed because people aren't, signing up and trialing us, so we can't get feedback from other users. But over time, my stance has changed, and I'm actually beginning to feel that the best product is the one that you use, that you can test it out and feel the pain, and then iterate and change on that. And the reason I feel that way, or have, I guess, that bias, is because when we built Real Hub the first time, it was to solve our problems. We built it as an order management platform for us. We were able to iterate on it, use it in every single day, and get better and better. We were like, how do we become more efficient? And I'm
Yeah.
coming from it from the same direction this time, where we're saying, how can I make better YouTube videos? What things am I feel like are creating blocks for me? How do I overcome those blockages? And then implement those into the system. And then hopefully that will help other people too, which I have a strong feeling now, building in public, showing people what we're doing all the time and getting those bites. People going, that's cool. I like that feature. Yes, that's cool. I like that feature. Or sending it to an editor and they go, this is cool. I like working like this. And hey, you should do it like this, because they start giving you feature ideas based on things that you use.
Yeah. I think there's two things with that. I think so what we saw in the Queenie interview is like by asking what current things you're doing, as opposed to like, hey, tell us what you think of this software. What are you doing currently? We can see really easily what we can like take advantage of and what we can do, which people probably wouldn't suggest that. If you showed them our tool, they wouldn't say like, it'd be really good if I could have this visual display to send to a sponsor and get approval. But so like separating the interviews out from like tell us what you think of the platform now to tell us what you're doing, I think that's a really important distinction. Is like,
Yep.
what's your problem? Don't give us a solution, don't tell us what you think is wrong or right about the software, just tell us what you're currently doing, and we can figure out how to fix it for you
Yep.
in ways that you might not think of as well.
So that would be, I guess you could summarize that as favor user interviews over user testing of the actual platform right now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
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 So
The
yeah, we're
interviews is like the key part.
yeah. So tell us about your problems. Don't try and come up with suggestions or ideas. We'll figure that out here by
Yeah.
collaborating with a lot of people and our own experience, and then coming up with the concepts and the ideas, and then rolling that out to you when we're ready as well. When we think we
Yeah.
have a polished product.
And then the other thing was, as you get more and more experienced with YouTube, you will forget the things that you didn't know when you started.
Hmm.
So we have to make sure that we're always like coming back to when we want to add these like educational pieces in. What seems obvious to us isn't going to be obvious to a new person. So, like you were saying, getting a child essentially to test it,
Hmm.
always coming back to like the base level of knowledge. Like you see this in the YouTube educator videos all the time. They're like, obviously XYZ, and you're like, that's not obvious to me. It's obvious to you now because you've been in it for ages. And it's the same thing with whatever features we're building, and we just have to like, if we're building for us, it's going to get to a point where it is starting to get used by heaps of users, and we need to remember that those users don't necessarily know everything we know. So we have to like
100%.
guide them through it.
Yeah. So always coming back to basics, right? So it's
Yeah.
build a platform that's simple, easy to use, easy to understand. And I guess that's definitely something we need to focus on when we come back to iterate on V2 and
Yeah.
improve it. It's like guiding you through, right? Because I even,
Yeah.
sitting with Sim yesterday, just saying, show me, she preferred V1 because there was a button it was new script button. That's
Yeah.
not really the first place you start, but because there was an action to be taken. So it's like, what
Yeah.
is the next action? What is my next step? That we
Yeah.
just need to kind of work through. And that could even be in the overview screen where we could like list each stage and then just tick them off. Like, hey, you've
Yeah.
done writing, and it just shows the three things. Or like, let's just work through packaging, right? So you just have a little module that says packaging, and you say, you've got a thumb, you've got a hook, and you've got a title. It's just like tick, 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 packaging's
Yeah.
done, right?
Yeah, like
So
wizard steps. I think
yeah,
once we've got everything in there, it's going to be very easy to create the path. It's just
yeah,
hard to create the path when you don't have everything there.
yep, cool. So that's user testing versus self-testing or testing on your own product, dog fooding your product. I think it's very important, regardless of what you're making. I think dog fooding is just such a good process and practice because you
Yep.
get to experience the pain. When you
Yep.
experience the pain, you fix it. We've seen this many times. We always
Yep.
fixed our own problems because like, this is painful. When we went on the road and did a signboard and saw
Yeah.
it, this is painful. Let's fix this because
Yeah.
this
And
sucks.
even like when we go in as a user to support the customer, you see that like the way something works doesn't work and you just fix it. Like
Yeah,
even though
100.
you're not the one using the product, like we were never agents in that business, but we could go in and be like, this is annoying to do. You can see that very easily. Like,
So we had a support team to do that. But I feel like, I mean, I even would think back now and go, imagine how much better it would have been if we did use it every day. If it was a tool we
yeah,
used every day, how much better that product would have been. And this is what's cool
yep,
about Clipflow. It's something that I do use almost every day now. So I like
yep,
literally go, no, I don't like this. This doesn't feel right. This step takes too long. This, you know, and just the whole ecosystem a bit around it. Like I was just talking to an editor and I was like, what does that look like to have that editor? Like, we struggle just to quickly have a video you want to get out. You need an editor. Now I have to go find one.
yep,
That's annoying.
yep,
Like, is there a world where you could have editors on call in the back? It's just a service thing. You just pay quickly. I want to edit. Cost this much money. Bang. Get it done. Get my thumbnail done. It's just like hands off. It just makes the
yep,
barrier to enter it's just so low. You can literally just
yep,
pick up your phone, record yourself, jump it in here, send it for edit and thumb, and you just move on with your life. And you can get content out that's great quality, and you're skipping all that learning because there's so much
yep.
learning that goes into this whole process.
Yeah,
So
it'd be cool one day to have like a starter, like an entire flow for a new starter, which told them like these are the videos you need to make. If you're a service based business, you need to make 8 videos to start your YouTube. You need this video, this video, this video, and it just gives you the outlines, and you just record, send it off to the app, and someone can edit it.
that's value. Like that's
Yeah,
pain that you're overcoming. That's not a vitamin. That's a freaking painkiller right there because there's so much
yeah,
pain. I know that from firsthand. It's the worst. It's the absolute worst. So yeah, that's I guess that's talking about that point there is like whether you build a platform that's just there or it's got a service based component to it as well, where you can buy services from Clipflow direct.
yeah.
Okay.
I really like that idea. Like one day of being the service as well, because I
Mm.
think you can we can do a good job of that. Basically, you can charge more money for the people who need it, and then the app will get better because you'll have heaps of service based people using it, which are high volume, high ticket things, and then you get editing processes really fast, and you get the reviewing processes really good. Just puts
Yeah.
more volume through the system.
I'm really excited to see an editor suggest the tool to someone they work with. That's going to be like
Yeah,
quite a cool experience when they actually go, "Hey, I really like working in this platform. Can you just use this platform as well? Because I don't
yeah.
like doing the side
That's a
drive."
flywheel as well, because then the next
Yeah,
time they use an editor, and that editor refers.
yeah. So it's very cool.